Welcome into y'all's channel. Your channeled reading, I assume. We're doing something different. I'm gonna use my shaman deck. That's what I felt called. I picked up the original deck, and I literally just heard no, use this one. Use this one. We're gonna delve into this. So this is interesting. New moon special. New moon special. All right. So let's see what's going on in y'all's energy. What you need to be aware of today. This deck is not really a light deck. So get ready. Ewub or Ibiwu, your birds, your falcon gods from the Egyptian pantheon are here. Specifically, Thoth, the wisdom, the learning, the judgment, the care of observing is what you need to be focused on today. What are you not focused on? What have you observed and seen yet need to correct and haven't? Or what are things that you have written down that you still have yet to do? What are things that you do not have proper wisdom for and need to seek a higher wisdom? You could and should be contacting Thoth for some form of higher revelation. You can take a picture of that and meditate on it if you want to get the messages, if you need, but that is only for those that need. We also have Song of Silence. This was the first card that was created in this deck, Song of Silence, and it doesn't mean quiet. It doesn't mean that you're not making noise. It just means where are you at when there is no additive, when there is no sort of extra noise going on, no music, no chatter, just you and what the silent or the wind will speak to you. It carries wisdom, it carries truth, it carries all sorts of prosperity, but you need to be tapped in and knowing. And by what I mean by tapped in is tapped into that to that moment. You can't be tapped into the song of silence if you're around a bunch of things making noise. The song of silence can also mean um that when you are listening to these noises, what are they truly saying to you? Every frequency has a voice hidden behind it if you listen closely enough, if you concentrate deep enough. That's what it's asking you to do. Where have you not sent your concentration in your times? And then we have downfall. This card does not mean that things are falling apart. Downfall means that things are coming into your vessel. That means you don't really have what you would call downloads. You would have uploads. Things are uploaded to your mind to say. Downloads are the result of uploads. What is it that you're needing to do? So, downfall, instead of talking about falling down, which would be a very simplistic way of looking at this, it's more talking about where have you closed certain doors? Where have you began to invert your numbers? Um, where have you began to do less in place of doing more? Where has a boundary been placed that only prevents you from moving forward rather than you moving forward? What decisions have you made that instead of canceling or bringing you to a defeatist energy has created a bump in your space to cause a repetitive thinking pattern that you are not getting over, so you then are pressured underneath? What have you canceled in the grand scheme of things? What have you canceled? That is what you are being asked to focus on today. Those three important things to gain the wisdom of the events around you so you can see why they are going that way. We have temperance on top of the Ibwood card. Oh my goodness. Why do all the cards have to fall on the floor? We have the Eight of Swords, the Lovers upright, and the King of Cups on the Song of Silence. And then we have the Fool on Downfall being the only card. So this is how we're gonna go over them. With Ibiwu or Ibwu, we have Temperance. Bring balance into your state of knowledge. Knowledge is the only thing you need to bring balance. And it's not any type of knowledge, it's sound, right knowledge. True, correct way of thinking, seeing things from an omni point of view, not just from your point of view. Again, that's a huge thing that people need to do. That's the way of thinking. That's how we used to think, not from a perspective of other people, but from a perspective of ourselves. Humans weren't around each other at first. We weren't, and then we began to come together and make groups, which is fine. And then a spirit of perversion came around, and then possessed people to then make a split of an unhappy people. Yeah, unhappy people already existed. It just caused the uprising. It used to be 70% of the happy population, and then 30% of the population is unhappy. Now it's more of 80% of people are unhappy and 20% of people are happy. That spirit has taken reign. You must find and see what inside you is allowing that spirit to live inside of you. It does not matter if it's living in the world. You are part of the world. So if you want to change the world, change yourself. The Song of Silence is here, bringing up the the Eight of Swords upright. You might not feel like you have the time to sit and listen to the silence, but you do. Every time before you fall asleep, you're listening to the silence. Anytime you're waking up in that groggy energy, you're listening to the silence. You're showering, you're listening to the silence. You're cooking food, you're listening to the silence. You're driving down the road without the radio on, you're listening to the silence. You are just not aware of the silence. That is your first step, is to become aware of it so you can start to focus on it and connect yourself to it with the lovers. That is when two come into one with the agreements of three. That is when you're able to truly move forward and truly allow yourself to be on the path that you're desiring. So when you enter this lover's energy, you will see what has been nurturing you incorrectly or why you've been moving out in incorrect ways with your feelings. Maybe you're blaming people. Oh, you're just attacking me or blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. You're attacking yourself, first of all, because it takes something inside of you to agree with you to make it seem so. The two inside of you have to agree first before anyone else on the external can agree with it. So no one's attacking you. You're attacking yourself, and then instead of accepting that attack on yourself, you're attacking yourself, you then say someone else is attacking you instead, so that you don't have to focus on that deeper inner pattern of healing. That's what you got to focus on. What actions of immaturity within your feelings realm are you taking that's preventing you to receive any form of knowledge and be properly nurtured? Moving on to the downfall and Fool, that will show you what you've been doing wrong. That will show you also how to move forward in a grander, more agreeable state. I'm going to put these up and we're going to delve into tarot. But that is what you need to focus on so you can truly see and know. Not only just see, but know. And have the wisdom of, and have the reasoning of, so you can move past and move forward these obstacles, events, etc., etc. Okay? But first, you have to come into agreement with yourself that this is something that you desire for yourself, that it's something that you do wish to do, not something that is, oh, I have to do it because XYZ. No, you don't have to do anything because of XYZ, but you have to understand that what you don't do is your own consequence. The Page of Pentacles upright and the Seven Pentacles inverted. Don't pick your fruit too soon. A lot of you like to look at something, see what pokes your eye the best, and then run with that. That's not it. You need to sit down and really see and sit and be in comfort with the fact that you're not strong, with the fact of your weaknesses, with the fact of what's keeping you from connecting to yourself. From that, then you can drop your heavy burdens. But you need to look at your heavy burden first and know what it truly is, the Ten of Wands, to truly get back into true connection. because you need to stop fueling yourself or giving yourself these distractions, or stop giving yourself these excuses of why something can't be brought to fruition. I don't think that you've ever talked to a businessman before in your life, because if you talk to a businessman, they will tell you, oh yeah, a lot of people tried to stop me from what I did. A lot of people didn't believe in me. A lot of people did this and that. A lot of people slandered my name. That's simply how the business world works, no matter what kind of business you're trying to get. Yes, it's hard, but you have to be in a very balanced energy yourself to want to keep moving forward. Even if it's on your spiritual path, even if it's on your religious path, there's a lot of preachers and priests like, yeah, they didn't want me to be a preacher or whatever because I would talk about this and that, and they didn't want me talking about that. Why not? What was the true reason? Was it because it was a personal thing that didn't need to be expressed, or was it truly because they were talking about the reality of what God is? A lot of your prophets were treated the same way. They were slandered and killed because they didn't want people knowing too much. And this is all just a repetition of history that you say you're breaking, the generational curses that you say you're breaking, but you're not, because you're actually breaking yourself. And that's where you have to really realize that when you're stopping yourself from doing it, from getting out for as long as grand as you need to be, you're breaking yourself, not that curse. We have the Five of Swords inverted, and the King of Swords upright, and the Eight of Swords upright. There's a lot of mental and physical going on here. So really look at what you're thinking. Your physical is only going to reflect what you're thinking. If you did not know a gun was dangerous, you wouldn't be like, oh. You'd probably be like, what is that? And then figure out the danger later. Okay? If your mind is not connected to that innate sense, it's not going to know. And if you're not looking back at the past of all the opportunities that you messed up or missed, or the opportunities that you had but you didn't take advantage of, you will still feel as if what you're doing now is okay, if it's not okay. And this is where you have to take rulership into your mind and move forward away from that constant behavior of, oh, this is what I need to do because it's the only thing I know how to do. Wrong. Temperance, the Nine of Wands, and the Lovers all come out to show you and tell you, my crown is going off like crazy. But it's here to show you that you do have the ability to bring balance to whatever situation or circumstance you're in. You just need to see the wounded parts of yourself and connect to it, not in a victim mindset way of, oh, boo-hoo. You need to connect to it in the sense of, why do you feel victimized? Why are you hurt? What's going on? So that you can heal it, or at least show it that it's not as hurt, and show it that it's just covered in fear. Wash it off to move forward. You need to be able to see these things with the Nine of Pentacles, because this is what's keeping you held back from any type of movement. And especially on this new moon, if you're really wanting to move forward in a specific way, you better be making sure you're moving forward, at least in this way, because I'm telling you right now, let go of the things that don't work. Let go of the things on the physical that have no control over you, which is everything outside of you. They don't have control over you. You have control over yourself, and the lack of control that you have on yourself, it gives them the control that they need, because they need you to feel powerless so that they can dictate and guide you to a specific power or a specific way. The Chariot and the Five of Pentacles upright. You're needing to move forward. You are needing to move forward. You are needing to see things from a higher realm, from a higher gateway. You need to connect to yourself. See that the way that you came from has led to your injuries. Not the place that you're going is leading to your injuries. Where you came from gave you those. And the only way to move away from those is by not making those same mistakes. You have to keep moving forward. This isn't a cartoon. This is your life. Look at it and see, like, this is what's happening. This is how I'm thinking about it. Is my way of thinking healthy? No. Then let me work with myself to be on a healthier spectrum of thinking, so I'm not stuck in this. And this should be an easy decision to make once you leave that realm, that tower energy, But the Hermit inverted is saying that you're not spending that time really looking deeply into it out of fear, or out of, oh, I can't because of this. You want to make an excuse for why you can't. Well, if you can't, then why can you spend all day worrying about it? You're just choosing to hurt yourself. You have to understand and see that. You're choosing to hurt yourself because you're not seeing the greater possibility externally. You're not seeing those things, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of times it's you're the one who takes the loss and not anyone else, because what you do affects you, not them. If they let it affect them, that's on them, not you. But if you let it affect you, that's on you and not them. You have to see that. It's a person per person event where you can't allow yourself to be overran by how other people are doing it. You need to find your way of doing it by finding the wisdom in day-to-day life. And if you can't do that, then you're going to be controlled by your day-to-day life, receiving not wisdom, but receiving blasphemies. And just because you don't agree with it at that exact moment does not mean it's a blasphemy. That's your ego talking. Get out your head. I got to point that out too. There's a lot of people that go, no. Well, you're saying no to yourself because you're not really deep and you're not seeing it and you're truly not spiritual. And if you are spiritual, you're demonic spiritual because you got a bunch of demons telling you what to do. But we have Chime, God of joy, reconciliation, regains the favor of those one has offended. Aladea, the favorable God, divine grace cures rage and pestilence, absolves the guilty. Lahaya, the adored God, obedience causes harmony and peace, calms anger in anyone. Umaibel, God above all names, elevated, affinity and friendship, attains the friendship of anyone. Hauhaya, God the good at himself, protection, prevents discovery of secret crimes, saves exiles. Salaya, God who stirs all men, motivation lifts up those who are fallen and humiliated. Hekamiah, the raising God, loyalty, deliverance from those who seek to oppress, brings victory. Anuel, the gentle God, perception of unity, protects against accidents and heals the sick. Nehemiah, the lovely God, discernment, general prosperity, and the deliverance of prisoners. And last but not least, Uriel, the fire of God, disruption, warns of disasters, and aids in transformation. So that is y'all's reading. Thank you all so much for everything. The likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations. I truly appreciate them all. If you are interested in the tarot classes, healing classes, or any of my services, email me and I'll get you set on track. But everything that you need is in the description. My email's in the description. My donation ways are in the description. The Dr. Malachi's York books are in the description, and my website's in the description. But thank you all so much for being here during this reading. I appreciate love each and every one of you. Peace in the Lamb. It has been truly wonderful.